Thank you, James Terry, and welcome to the Coaches Show here on Saturday, April 2nd, the first Coaches Show here in the month of April. We've got a great show planned for you today, and we'll start with Wildcat and Lady Cat Sports in Review. Something of a busy week as both tennis and golf and Lady Cats golf all had their district championships this week. So as April rolls around, a lot of these teams kind of starting to wrap up their season. Wildcat Tennis did not have the performance they were hoping for in their district championship as they performed really well. Ian Westland, one of the many Wildcats who did really well, won consolation in boys, and a number of other Wildcats and Lady Cats performed very well, but had the opportunity to talk to Coach Tony Martinez yesterday morning before heading out to Hallsville, and we'll be talking more about that softball duel in Hallsville last night with Coach David Carrillo, but unfortunately Team Tennis wasn't able to move on any athletes to the regionals, and a very tough end to their season, no doubt, but Coach Tony Martinez was very happy with the progress they've made over this school year, and was really excited at the proposition of moving down to 4A and playing some of those schools, because he said besides Pleasant Grove, should be a little bit of an easier gauntlet run as opposed to what they do now, facing on so many powerhouse teams in tennis. Moving over to Wildcats Golf. Wildcats Golf, same with Team Tennis, also had their district championship this week. And same thing with Team Tennis, didn't have their best outing. They finished 6th out of about 8 or 9 schools this week. And had themselves a pretty solid run, but just bad luck just plagued Wildcats Golf this week. I mean, choppy winds, bad putting, just wrong putting decisions. I mean, it was just a tough outing for Wildcats Golf, and luckily they return about 4 seniors next year and another junior, so they'll have a lot of experience coming back to Wildcats Golf next year. And same thing with Team Tennis. All teams moving down to 4A, so it should be a pretty good proposition to bring those teams down to 4A and then still have that experience you're bringing back. And then Lady Cats Golf, however, the one team of the 3 that will be moving on to regionals, as they had a very, very solid outing. They finished 2nd, and the top 2 teams at the district championship move on to regionals. And so congratulations to Lady Cats Golf on an incredibly successful outing. Every single Lady Cat shot sub 100, and Coach Whitney Spigner said in her time here in Sulphur Springs she didn't think that's ever happened. So congratulations to Lady Cats Golf. They take next week off, get a little bit of rest before their regional meet the week after next. Best of luck to Lady Cats Golf. And then baseball and softball. Baseball and softball both in Hallsville last night, making the long trip on the big yellow dog out to Hallsville. Baseball, unfortunately, not as successful against Hallsville, but softball, on the other hand, able to get a huge win over Hallsville last night. And we'll be talking more about that in just a moment. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be hearing from Coach David Carrillo about that win last night in Hallsville. Welcome back to the Coaches Show here on Saturday, April 2nd. So last night, both baseball and softball traveling out to Hallsville, and softball able to hold on and get a very impressive win last night in Hallsville, 4-3.
Yes, it's always hard to win over there, and going up there, I've challenged our girls, all week, we worked on our weaknesses, try to work on our hitting, and I just want them to play their best game, and that's what I challenged them to do, and I said, I don't care how we get it, what we get, but we need to play our best game. And even though it really wasn't our best game, we still have that in our pockets. But I do know they battled, they didn't quit, and it's a tough place to go win over there in Hallsville. And I just look in the years, I was kind of thinking back last night, and it's been a while since we won over there, a few years since we won at Hallsville. And that, again, they have a great program, and that was a big win for us. And the kids wanted it, and they battled, and that's what makes me so proud of our team right now. They are very resilient. They're like a cat in a dryer. They can get bounced around, but they're going to open up that dryer and they're going to come out ready to go, just a little fluffy. And that's what these girls are. They just kind of battle. They just get after it, and they don't quit. And it's amazing to just watch them play. And I hear a lot and I listen a lot, and I always see their fight and their attitude. It doesn't seem like they ever think they're out of a game. Somebody's always encouraging somebody, and I feel like we have great team leadership, and I think that that's what keeps us going, and has kept us going throughout the year so far.
Absolutely, and on the point of resiliency, talking about how your team maybe didn't have their best game last night. Starting out the game, Crimson Bryant hit 2 straight batters, and I was racking my brain thinking about covering Lady Cat softball for 2 years, and I don't think she'd ever done that.
No.
But then to respond and get a number of strikeouts and get herself a lot of kind of sticky situations.
Yes.
Just incredibly resilient.
Yes, and like for us, we had bases loaded. We had many opportunities to open the game wide open, and we weren't able to do it. But again, we could have sat there and just been so frustrated where we couldn't perform. But even when we got down 1-0, we could have just sat there and I kind of felt like just a little bit where we were just kind of feeling sorry for ourselves a little bit. But it didn't take long just to tell them, hey, let's go. It's only 1-0, and we've come back from 4-0 before, and we can do this 1-0. And I felt like we could come back. It's just when it was going to happen, I didn't know, and how it was going to happen, I didn't know. But I felt like we could, and our girls just pulled together. And like I said, the encouragement from our our leadership and everything else, I think it just kind of pulled us through. And again, they just don't quit.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And unfortunately for your squad last night, Hallsville, on the other hand, doesn't quit either. I mean, you're able to tie that game up in the top of the 5th at 1-1, and then able to kind of bust the game open, it seems like, at 4-1, and then Hallsville, in their last at-bat, able to really make the game really dicey.
Yeah, and they were. I felt like, Crimson at the plate helped herself out, and we got that run in, to tie the game, and then the big hit by the Harper and the misplay out in the outfield, and to get to that point, and Addison Cadell, oh my gosh, she hit the ball well too last night. But going to that moment of last night in the 7th inning, Hallsville just doesn't quit. They do have a good team. They do have some really good players, and I feel like, those are the games that you kind of got to go through stuff sometimes. And I always talk about this too, just to our kids, and heck, in life, you go through sudden change where things happen and you don't expect them to happen. And, there was a situation with the balls not being, kind of thought we didn't get a fair deal on some of the balls that were being thrown into the game. But, that being said, there's sometimes that you have to be ready for sudden change in life and in everything else, and you just got to adjust and make it work and make it happen. And Crimson was able to do that last night in the circle, and that's it's really hard when you have to overcome some things, but again, that's part of life, and she was able to do it. And did I like what happened? No. Was it fair? Kind of no. But again, for her to able to adapt and overcome, my hat's off to Crimson. Crimson's a fierce competitor, and she's going to get after it, and she did, and she just figured it out, and I think, like last night I said, playing in Hallsville, I think we all figured it out. So a lot of lessons learned over there, a lot of things that our kids did well on just coming back and being resilient, like I said, and very proud of them, very proud. They have goals, and we have team goals, and we're just another step to those goals.
And a huge win in Hallsville, no doubt, getting that, as we were talking about before the coaches show started, getting not only the rematch win, so you won the district opener versus Hallsville in Sulphur Springs last night, winning in Hallsville, so a season sweep of Hallsville. Congratulations to you and your squad, but something I was mentioning about last night is now it's a 3-game winning streak against Hallsville, dating back to last season as well. So.
Yes, yeah, and that's been big. That hadn't happened in a while, and it like I said, they have a great program, and they're very resilient also. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we see them again down the road. Not even in somewhere down the road. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them again. And another thing I do want to talk about is our district is, I think, really good because everybody seems to have a really good pitcher. Our games are close, competitive. There's really a dogfight for every one of them that you have to play. But I think that really prepares you for the playoffs too. And when some districts they don't really play anybody till they get to the playoffs. But I feel like our pitching in our district is really good like it was last year, and it just prepares you to go to the next level when you play. I always call it my third season. First season preseason, second season's district, third season's playoffs. And, it's just a different animal. But I do feel like our district, I feel like anyone that gets out with the Mount Pleasants, the Longviews, the Hallsvilles, and us, and T-High's kind of lurking kind of a little bit behind. But anyone that can get out in this district, I feel like it's going to do well in the playoffs. And it's a dogfight, and you got to love the district. You love games like that because that's what you play for. You don't want to sit there and just pound somebody. Though on a coach's blood pressure level, it does kind of make it nice when you can cruise a little bit. But hey, it's just how we've been winning games and what we've been doing, and our girls. I think this helps them because they know they can do it and come back and trust me, the heat, the stove's been hot, but we always just seem to come through, and I'm very proud of them for that. That's just a testament to their character and just will to win.
Absolutely, and such a good point you made about competing in such a tough district. I mean, across the board, there are really every sport. It's just a dogfight between every team. It's always so close. Usually, sometimes you'll have a team that's kind of a gap between the first and second team, but second through about 5 is always super tough. It's always battling it out. In fact, right now, just like you were talking about, just 3 games separate the 2 and the 5th team. So it's close, and it's going to stay close, no doubt, until probably the end of the season.
Yes, sir, and again, that's the way you like it, though. I mean, you want to be competing to the very end, and like I said, it doesn't do nothing but help you for in the long run. Another thing I do like to mention about our team in this season so far that I feel like it's a big plus for us is our leadership. I will say I think we have great senior leadership. I think we have Addison Cadell and we have Paris Pickett and Paige Seagraves, the 3 seniors that we have. They just. You got to have that. If you don't have that, just kind of, there's got to be a glue, and those girls are the glue. They know what to do. They know what to say. They know how to keep things together. And as a coach, I'm very thankful and blessed for them because they do help me keep them together. They don't know how much I really truly appreciate them because it takes a team. It's a family. Everybody's got to be on board. Parents, kids, and everyone else. But when we're out on that field, we got to have some people that are going to be level-headed and keep things together in a positive way and lead in a positive way and lead in a good way. And those girls do that. And again, that's something I'm very thankful for, and we're blessed to have this season because some teams don't have that. Last year I felt like we had some good senior leadership, and we had Nala Lindley, and she's definitely highly competitive in practice and everything else. But and we had our other seniors, but like I said, just knowing of what we know with what we have right now in our senior leadership, it's been huge, especially this year because of the games we've had to play and the closeness of those games. You got to have somebody like that. Paris is tougher than boot. She gets after it. And Addison's just the coach's dream because she just does everything right and does the right things. It's like last night she rips one in the right center, and Addison's first one she was. Props, because that girl made a great catch out in right center, and Addison was the first one to be the biggest cheerleader and lead them on. But again, I think it's just a testimony and character of our kids that we have, and the senior leadership is amazing for us.
Yeah, and a couple quick points I want to make about some things that you said. Paris Pickett, I love watching her because so many times, she makes a lot of good plays. She didn't have her best night at bat, but she tried to make a diving play in the infield last night. She wasn't unfortunately able to come up with it, but just the rest of the game, you could tell on defense, she was cheering on her squad. She was like, hey, that mistake earlier, it's on me, but let's put it behind us and let's get it done.
Yeah, and Paris is like even her last at bat, I went to go talk to her just I don't know. Sometimes when I talk to kids, everybody asks me what I talk about. Sometimes the weather. I just kind of real relaxed. I want them to be relaxed. And first thing she said when I walked up there on her last at bat, she goes, I got this, coach. And I said, hey, I know. I just came to talk to you about, the bus ride. Just stuff like that. You got to keep them loose, and you got to. They are under enough pressure as it is. And Paris has been amazing this year offensively. So is Kinsley Smallwood has been very impressive this year offensively. Those two girls have done a lot of great things this year, and. But like I said, I don't want our team to ever play where they just feel like their life depends on it, because this is what we do. And it's not who we are. And I do know that if we just keep focused and continue to just stay focused on doing the little things, big things and greater things happen. And I just know that, and I believe that. And it's been like that, in Sulphur Springs for a long time. And been blessed to be part of this program, part of this thing. And like I said, these girls are just amazing, and I can't say that word enough because when you do lose, the seniors we lost last year, you don't never know. It's that's why I call it. This is Team 16. Team 16 is not like Team 15. The makeup's different, changes every year. But I do know that in their hearts and their minds, they do have goals. They want to get as far as they can. They want to beat last year's playoff run, and that's understandable. And we do want to go and win district, of course. Now, that was our goal, and so far, it's happening.
And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll talk some more about Lady Cat softball with Coach David Carrillo in just a moment. Welcome back to the Coach's Show here on Saturday, April 2nd. Coach Carrillo was just talking over the commercial break, and he made a great point. A lot of these games have been really tight, and you kind of spoke about this earlier, but a lot of these games have been really tight, something we didn't see last year. A lot of these games kind of 2-0 and really close like that. So it's been really tight for you and your squad.
Yeah,
a lot of these games.
It takes a little bit for us to warm up. It's like last night, I was just sitting there and it's down 1-0, and it always seems like in the fourth or the fifth something happens, and that's kind of the way it was last night. And it just takes a little bit of time to warm up, and as a coach, you're sitting over there thinking of how can we score some runs. When you're blessed to have somebody like Crimson Bryant. You just got to figure out how to waste manufacture some runs, and the rest will take care of itself. Offensively, we've kind of struggled at times, but we have got timely hits when we needed them, and we've been able to score the runs when we just absolutely had to have them. That's the thing we talked about too, because we have been leaving runners on base all over the place, and I think in the first inning when we had the bases loaded, again we had opportunity to just go, oh my gosh, here we go again, but. No, they wanted it. They battled, competed. Crimson, man, she got after it last night. With the ball situation and things that were going on. Crimson was pitching angry, and for Crimson to pitch, she's such a sweet kid, but she's a competitor, man. She's gonna get after you, and it was good to see Crimson to go get after it. Crimson's human. You know what I mean? People will go, well, they scored these runs. Yeah, but you know what? There's a lot of situations to that, but for the most part, Crimson makes them earn them, and those players that they're good players other places too. So, but for the most part, like I said, there's no one of course you would want to circle than Crimson, because she's going to get after you, and the coaches know, all the area coaches know that she's going to get after you, and again, I'm just glad she's on our side and makes things happen. And the thing neat about Crimson, like I said it last year, said before, family's awesome. Crimson's awesome. She's a very humble kid, and she's one of those girls that is very blessed, and God's has gifted her in amazing ways. And we talk all the time, and just not about softball, but just about things. And she's going to have a great platform when she goes on and plays off at the next level, as well as the platform that she has now. And she's just a good kid, and she's we're very blessed to have her.
And blessed, no doubt, to have her take on Hallsville last night. And one thing I want to mention before we start to look ahead to next week is Hallsville, coming into last night, had won their last two games. Granted, it's over the two last place teams, Pine Tree and Marshall, but went over Marshall 18-4 and winning over Pine Tree 17-0. So, did you look at those games?
Yeah, I would be lying to you if I said I was like, oh my gosh, I was just joking around, texted the Hallsville coach. I was like, man, y'all pounding the ball. I said, oh, we can keep y'all in the park, But then they go, well, heck, we hope Crimson don't strike out 19 or 17 or nothing like that. So it was kind of, it did. They were hitting the ball, and they told me they were smoking the ball. They said after I think they played us, and then they were open, and they played Longview, they started hitting the ball. And I think it started with Mount Pleasant, and from that point on, they were pounding it. And that's what another thing I say. That's another factor and intangible right there. That Crimson, she still, other than that last inning, she pitched great. She only gave up 4 hits. And right now, I mean, to shut them down to 4 hits is amazing, because they were on a roll for a while there, and she was able to do what she was, Crimson does. So that being said, I was very proud of the way she shut them down, because I would be lying if I didn't tell you I wasn't looking at those scores and going, golly, they're just pounding the ball. But again, just like in any game in any sport, it depends on matchups and how you match up. There's sometimes we don't score as many runs as I would like, and another team is scoring. You can't go by score. It's game by game, because you go by score, you're going to drive yourself crazy. And like I said, going into this game on the bus ride, we knew what we needed to do, and we knew a win would be huge for our goal to win in the district championship. And our girls just came out there and accomplished that. But we just try to focus on ourselves and try not to worry about a lot of that stuff. And I'm the first one that I'll take. I want all the pressure. Let them not have anything. I don't mind not sleeping at night. I'm old. I go do my thing, whatever. If I got to go bathroom, that's okay. I don't need no sleep. I just want them to be where they don't have to play with a lot of pressure, because in high school, softball is a lot different than travel ball, because you are playing in front of your peers, you're playing in front of your town, you're representing your town. And in Sulphur Springs, again, this softball is way beyond just me and our program. I mean, it starts when they're little. These guys go out there and take these kids out there and play, grow these kids and develop these kids, and we're blessed to have them when they come to high school. That's why I always say it's got to be from the community, and it's like a family to me. I try to make friends with many people as possible, and just keep it going. And then one day there's going to be a time that I'm going to not be here, but I want the program to be just successful. When things if I retire or whatever happens, but you want to keep it going, because there's a pride that you take in the community and the town with Sulphur Springs softball, and that's what I wanted to keep going. And and see how many years we can keep it going. And we've been keeping it going for 16 years and longer than that before I got here. So I knew that's what we needed to do. I knew that's how it was here. And again, we've been able to do it. And I'm excited to keep it going, Not that I plan on retiring anytime soon, but I just wanted to keep going, and I know what's in place. So it's exciting to see that. And it's exciting to see the younger kids out there playing, practicing, whatever. There's opening ceremonies going right now with Little Hopkins County, softball right now. And that's the neat thing. Softball is a great, exciting game. And, not just playing, but the life lessons, of course, you learn from playing a sport. And it's just fun to see the little kids out there having fun, and the kids that you watch, grow up and become Lady Cats, because these Lady Cat softball players right now, they're little kids watching them. And these girls that are playing right now were probably watching some other Lady Cats before them. So it's a family. It's a thing that we need to keep going. And again, we just try to be good with our play, honor with what we do, and do the right things and do right. And that's just, that's what we do.
Well, and the good news is that the fruits of your labor are clearly showing, as last year, going 4 rounds in the playoffs, and your team having a very successful run last year, obviously starting off with a loss to Hallsville, then recovering, winning 11 straight en route to a district championship. This year, however, winning against Hallsville at home, and 6 games later, your team is still undefeated at 7.
Yeah, that's what we talked about that too. Well, we hope it don't flip on us, because we thought, we won at home and over there, but no, it didn't. And being where we're at, we're very blessed, very fortunate. The Texas High game could have been a turn, and like I said, somebody else stepped up. It was Addison came and shut them down, and we found, Paris, we found ways to score runs and get things going, and Smallwood and all those, we're just finding a way to get it done. Every game is like a different story, and somebody steps up every game, which is a good thing, because like I said, it's exciting it's stressful, but it's exciting to see, especially when the outcome becomes in your favor. We have just been amazing and resilient at just finding a way to win and earning that right to win. And like I said, these girls are you just can't count them out. And again, I'm so blessed to be able to coach them. And I'll tell you this too, I've got some great coaches, but with me too. I don't say I'm the head coach. No, I say we all do it. We all do it together. And I couldn't do it without Coach Dorner, Coach Aguilon, and Coach Easley. He just kind of added on to us this year, and what a pleasant find that we had in him. And we're just, again, a family. We try to keep it going, and then just everybody does his part. Everybody's working, and everybody's very positive. And again, it's about all of us. And one last thing, I know I was like, girls, we ain't getting no help. This is us. Whatever we have here is what it is. So we got to get ready to go to battle, and we got to go to battle with what we have. So we got to make it work, and they have been, and we all have been.
We're going to take one last quick commercial break, and then we'll look forward to next week for Lady Cats softball and wrap up the Coach's Show here on Saturday, April 2nd. Welcome back to the Coaches Show here on Saturday, April 2nd. We're going to look ahead to next week. Coach, your team, home versus Longview, so another big duel with the Lady Lobos.
We have a huge week next week, but we're at home, and we play Longview. They have a very good pitcher that's a very good shutdown pitcher. She's going to be tough. We've struggled with her the last few years. So, again, it's going to be another dogfight. And then, of course, you got Mount Pleasant looming over there Friday. So that's always a dogfight. So, next week we're going to have to earn our money. So here we go. But it's just part of it. And like I said, we start opening up with Hallsville, Longview and Mount Pleasant. Those are the three tough ones. But we didn't make the schedule. That's just what it was. So that's what we got to go do. So, we'll take it game by game, and Tuesday, we'll take it and see what we can do. And I'm sure our girls are excited for being back home, for the next week. And I'm glad to be home too, because getting on that road is kind of rough. But our girls will be fired up and excited, and they like to play in front of their home crowd, and so they'll be pumped up. And like I said, there'll be two great games next week. So if anybody gets a chance to come watch. And these girls deserve that. They have done outstanding this year and in the last few years, and really the program has done a lot for many years. So they deserve all the accolades that they get, because they do work hard. And I tell anybody, if you get a chance to come watch these girls play, come watch them, because they do deserve the support from the town, the community, and other people, because of just just who they are and what they represent and how hard they play. It's exciting to come watch them play.
And you're so right. When I was still an intern a year ago, so that was my first year covering Lady Cats softball, I went out to y'all's scrimmage at McKinney North, and didn't know who was pitching at that time, but a girl that we now know, Crimson Bryant, was in the circle, and I think she threw out like 15 strikeouts.
Yeah.
And after the game, you were like, let's kind of keep her quiet. And I was just like, Coach, I don't think this is going to be a secret for much longer.
Yeah, and it hasn't been. When she came into town, I mean, she's from here and lives here, and I heard about her coming, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I knew who she was. I mean, I've heard about her, but it was crazy, because I had like 3 or 4 coaches say, yeah, Coach, you're fixing to be, you got one. And it turned out they were right, and again, she's just part of the piece, and like I said, very team oriented. Just, it's been a blessing, because when she came here, I believe what we do is ministry. I think this is a mission field. I think that you teach these kids life lessons. And Crimson, I told her, I said, I don't really think that you coming here is really just about softball. I said, and I told her that. I said, it's about more than that, Crimson. And me and Crimson have prayed together. We've talked about Christ together, and I even in the process of her recruitment, I said, Crimson, you really need to start praying right now of not going where you want to go, but go where God can place you to be to have a platform for Him. And that's let God put you in the right place. Pray about where He wants you to go, not so much where you want to go. And when you get that figured out, and you feel in your heart that you're at the right place, you're gonna do great and amazing things, and you're gonna be able to use you're gonna be able to use it as a platform for the ability that He's given you. You're gonna be using it as a platform for Him. And she listens to everything I say, and like I said, it's not just I don't think her coming to Sulphur Springs is just just, hey, we're coming. I think there's more to it, and that's what I try to tell our kids too. This is more than a game, and this stuff's going to end one day for everybody. But what are you learning while we're doing it? What are the life lessons you're doing? I know they think I'm a little weird sometimes, a little crazy, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay to be a little weird, a little crazy. But again, what are we doing with the platform for Christ? Because again, in the ultimate scheme of things, hey, this is going to go. And then we're going to go do something else. But I don't want them to just go, Coach Carrillo, we learned how to win, or we learned this. And it's not about the winning. Winning's fun, but it's about the journey that you have to get there. It's about what are you learning to get there. And like I said, they've seen me go through some things personally and things like that. And I'm human. I'm not perfect, but I am redeemed. And so that being said, I want our girls to understand there's another way to live their life just besides sports, and I think they got it, and we're going to continue to do that until I leave, and I'm hopefully the next, we just keep it going. So it's been a blessing.
And It's been a blessing for me to be able to cover your team, even going back to last year. I knew pretty early on, I said, this is, at this point, I mean, besides probably men's basketball, because they're just so much fun to watch, I think your team is my favorite to cover. It's been a blast to have.
Well, thank you. We are a little different, and we do things a little bit different, and but it's a lot of fun. I mean, it is. I tell you, it is a lot of fun. Practices are fun. Being around them are fun. It's a different ball game, but again, it's supposed to be fun. And again, if you keep doing those little things right, it pays off in the end. And like I said, we're very blessed to be with each other and just continue to do the right things and do right, and see where it takes us. And win or lose, it's not a death sentence. We just keep going. But again, it's all about that journey, and that's what we want to make it exciting about, the journey.
Anything else to like to add, Coach?
No, just hey, come out and watch next week if you get a chance. These girls are amazing. Got 2 home games, and we're going to keep on doing what we do, and then looking forward to just getting better every day in every game. And we still got things we need to work on and fix. But again, these girls are exciting, amazing, blessed to coach them, and blessed to have the coaches that I have on the staff.
Thank you so much for joining us today,
thank
Coach.
you.
And that'll do it for us here today on the Saturday, April 2nd edition of the Coaches Show. Thanks again to Coach David Carrillo for joining us, but your interviewer, Ross Lubinsky, shooting video for us is Doug Haston, and our station manager, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, James Terry. We'll see y'all next time.